Alright, so now the collab on Cobra Kai is done with Learn. Time to edit this.
I want the truth and nothing but the truth.
What's up, everyone? It's Dio's lawyer, Godot, and it's the spooky month of October, so why not get spooky with some villainous uploads? First topic I have to discuss today is, what if Diego, the world, fought D4C Lovetrain? Honestly, I think this what if is pretty interesting considering that there's a freaking Diego with the world in another dimension, and if things are parallel in terms of dimensions, that must mean that Valentine had to have fought this alternate Diego without Lovetrain at least, right? Before I go any further, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe with notifications on. Really helps out the channel a lot. Anyways, let's discuss. For this what if, we're going to be going back to the train fight Diego had with Valentine. Just like the original timeline, the only difference being that Diego now has the world instead of scary monsters. The fight plays out the same, but Diego doesn't die this time because of time stop just being OP, killing multiple Valentines at once, especially before they can fully dimension hop, with the main Valentine being the only one left, backed into a corner in front of an unconscious Lucy Steele, in no position to dodge or fully react to Diego in his stand. Diego calls checkmate as he sends the world to cave in Valentine's head, in instant death, leaving a dimension hop as a non-possibility. Diego needed to be thorough, but just as the world's fist was about to reach Valentine's face, Diego was blinded with light. But where was this light coming from? Diego sharpened his vision with the world, only to see that the light was coming from Lucy Steele and onto President Valentine. Right after the quick analysis, Valentine states that he's taken the first napkin before charging at Diego enveloped in a light barrier. The name of it being, as he announced, D4C Lovetrain. Diego brings forth the world to stop time and immediately having his stand barrage D4C Lovetrain while Diego, does the vampire-y, right? After the world's barrage was done and 2 seconds of time stop left, Diego stops panicking for a minute and realizes that while Valentine isn't moving, his barrier is. Not traveling, but statically moving and glowing, contrasting the gray color the world's time stop casts to those who can't move in it. But that's not all. Diego could see in the barrier. Every exact spot the world hit not only was completely undamaged, but it appeared that people were dying? Diego didn't have any more time to think. As time resumed, Diego used the world to bust a hole on the side of a train and dive out to escape D4C Lovetrain just barely. Now, here's the interesting part that'll get a little contentious maybe. Valentine is gonna know everything about what the world can do, especially time stop, and is gonna formulate a plan to kill Diego by first getting Diego to get distracted in time stop long enough for Diego not to be successful in his attack and plan. With time resuming and Diego is in a position where he can't defend himself or dodge against D4C. All in all, Valentine's plan is very similar to Pucci's against JoJo in the Made in Heaven arc of Stone Ocean. But, on the other hand, Diego's plan would be a bit more simple, but still tense. Diego, after figuring out how D4C Lovetrain works, would simply wait for D4C to come outside the barrier and attack him, because that's its only means of attack really. Diego then stops time and cleaves D4C's head off, instantly killing Valentine. But in the meantime, Diego has to deal with Valentine trying to outsmart him or make him slip up, and alternate Valentines appearing with D4C and guns. Now, let's go to the second scenario where Diego's plan works and he wins. Well, obviously he's taking the corpse parts for himself, attaining the world Lovetrain. I don't know. All I know is that the world stand evolution via all the corpse parts is bad news for this alternate universe's Johnny and Gyro. Now, first and more likely scenario, going by what happens to Diego in the main timeline, Valentine's plans works and he's able to take victory over Diego and kill him. Probably the hardest Valentine has ever worked for a victory. The only reason why Diego got this far was because of his stand in the world. Anyways, after that, everything goes just like the main timeline, with Valentine and D4C Lovetrain being defeated by Tussac 4. Valentine searches for an alternate universe Diego to kill Johnny Joestar. I mean, if this universe's Diego gave him the fight of his life, Valentine could only imagine what other powerful stands other Diegos have. Valentine eventually finds a Diego that suits his liking. Fast forward, Johnny is trailing a shadow. Knowing whoever this is took the corpse parts, Johnny would look down at the tracks of whoever he's chasing and finally realize that those aren't horse tracks. It would then dawn on Johnny that it's a trap, as he immediately turns around with Tussac 1 ready, as he confusingly sees Diego, who Johnny knew was dead, yell out "scary monsters" as Diego lunges towards Johnny in a slashing motion while hordes of dinosaurs surround and close in on Johnny. Johnny switches to Tussac 2, and Johnny vs. Diego Scary Monsters officially begins. Anyways, that's all I have. I hope y'all enjoyed this what if. By the way, I have a question for all of you. What if Diego had a son in Part 8 JoJolian that lived in Morio? Tell me down below. Make sure to follow my Twitter, always be posting, and join my Discord server, all linked in the description. Oh, and check my community tab. That's all I got for y'all. Peace out.
Yeah, good job.